Alright, so we just got back from watching Transformers Revenge of the Fallen midnight premiere.
It was so great.
I'm joined here by fellow YouTube user
XX, Kyber Boy,
Oh, shut up.
XX.
Carmelo Anthony. Anyway. The movie was awesome. We got some robot action, not as much human action, which is always good. And let's just say this before before you guys see the movie. Even if you saw all the trailers so far, and all the leaked images and videos or whatever you can find, there is so much more than what's actually out there right now.
Especially in the desert and forest, man. Those are two incredibly awesome scenes.
Alright, we're gonna start off with non-spoilers for those of you who haven't seen the movie yet. And, where do we start? There's so much to talk about. Well, the movie's about 2 hours and 41 minutes, right?
It's 2 hours and 24 minutes.
2 hours and 24 minutes. And 51 minutes of that is nothing but robot stuff. And it actually feels like there's a lot more. So don't go there just to count down the minutes to how much robots there are actually on screen. Because there's actually a lot more than Michael Bay actually says. Characters. There is not much characterization given the number of characters you actually have in the film. But what?
Any Optimus Prime fans out there will be extremely happy with what they did with him.
Yeah,
Period.
Optimus, I don't know. It's like
He went beast mode on every mofo he came across. Period. Let's just say that.
Michael Bay made Optimus Prime insanely powerful. Why would he do that? I don't know. Maybe to make up for his lack of abilities in the last battle in Mission City. But I don't know. And let me just say this. For those of you who still want a good one-on-one between Megatron and Optimus, you're not going to find it here. You thought you would. No. Let me finish. You thought you would, but when you get to the forest, it's definitely not a gangbang. That might be a spoiler, but it's not a gangbang. What do you have to say?
The one-on-one is kind of there, but very, very briefly. It's like kind of a cameo of a one-on-one. So, not much, but it's very there for a second.
Anyway, so the forest, there are actually, how many major battles were there? There was the forest, the desert, Shanghai, and the desert is actually the longest. I think that's... There's 3 major battles. It starts off in Shanghai, you get one in the forest, and then you finish off with the desert.
They're all incredible.
This review is pretty much from a fan's perspective. So, Optimus Prime, in my opinion, he wasn't that great. I do not like him, and I will never like him.
That's because he's not a Transformers fan. He just likes stupid people. And he doesn't like Megan Fox.
Anywho, what else can we talk about here? I don't know. Once you see the movie and you just get out, it's just overwhelming. You can't think properly. You can't recall everything. But we'll just run down the characters and talk about their screen time and what we feel upon them. So, this is where the spoilers start. Those of you who haven't seen it, you should get out now. Get out. We're going to talk about characters. Okay. Alright, we'll start off with them Autobots, because, you gotta save the best for last. What do we start off with here? Bumblebee. You can clearly see that in this movie, they are trying to promote the Camaro. You got Camaros all over the place. You got Camaros in the college. You got Camaros in Sam's house. You got Camaros everywhere. You see a lot of Bumblebee, and what he does to Rampage? What he does to Rampage, you could clearly tell they had that scene in there to promote the new Camaro. Kids see that scene, they're like, oh, look at that, I want to go buy a Camaro now. So, you know they did that. Next off, Sideswipe. His kill, what he did to Sideways, That was pretty cool, but after that, you really don't see much of him anymore.
That's true. That's pretty
And
disappointing.
it doesn't sound like Sonic. So those of you who worrying about, oh, it's Sonic, whatever.
Yeah, but he's a
He doesn't sound like
badass
Sonic.
character.
Oh, shut up. Next,
Scream.
Optimus Prime. We already covered him pretty much all the way through.
No, we haven't.
But they have made good use of his swords in this film,
Let's
unlike
get
his
into the
last film.
spoiler details.
They just saw the movie, they don't need spoilers.
So people who
They
haven't-
do utilize his weaponry, unlike the last film where he used his gun one time and his sword one time. No, here you get full out, pew, 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 and
He even
slice.
picks up a tree.
Yeah, he picks up a tree. Anyway, it's not important. What do we got next? We got Jazz. Oh no, he's dead. Oh, Jazz. Anyway, Jolt. People saying that Anthony Anderson is doing his voice.
But I have
Jolt never talks once in the film. I don't know what's going on with that. I really don't care, but many of you already know that Jolt was a last-minute addition, so
Right, was it?
yeah, he was, to promote the voice. Jolt was a last-minute decision. That's why it probably explains why they couldn't get in Vogelsville. Jetfire. Jetfire starts off as a Decepticon, but he's so old that he goes crazy and turns into an Autobot. Not much to say. He is crazy.
Yeah,
He is a
very-
madman. You already know that because you've seen the film, but man, you don't expect him to be like
I
that.
love his character.
Jetfire, he was pretty cool. Then you get to my least favorite
My
characters.
most couple favorites.
The twins.
They were awesome.
Mudflap and Skids. They were just awful.
They were
I
awesome.
mean, their crude humor, their racist anecdotes, their stereotypism, I guess,
They were
of
funny as
rednecks.
hell.
They were redneckified transformers who do nothing but comment on awkward situations and fight each other halfway through the film. They get more screen time than Megatron and Optimus do combined. I mean, they don't combine, but combine their screen times total. They get more screen time than Ironhide, Jazz, Jazz is dead, Sideswipe, anyone you
Listen,
name. They
listen,
probably
people.
get the most screen time. I don't know if you guys like them. I just don't like them. I mean, they did have that charm to them in the beginning when they're an ice cream truck, but after that, I don't know. I just started hating them.
Listen, people. They were funny as hell. They were the only reason that the human parts were worth watching. They were funny. They would fight each other just randomly out of nowhere. They would make racist comments against other people. It was awesome. Oh, and they fight Devastator, which was really cool.
Yeah, whatever. Who else are we gonna talk about? Autobots. Autobots.
Fights.
Oh yeah, the RC bikes. You see them in Shanghai. They do deploy. They got their hologram people, which is pretty cool. You see them jumping after sideways, and then you don't really see them again. You see them again in the desert, but okay. For those of you who have seen it, post in the comments below what you think happens, because you clearly see Chromia or whoever it was go up to Sam to help him out, and then you see them get blown up by what appears to be Bone Crusher in the background.
Yeah, that was
Bone Crusher has weapons now? I don't understand. So post in your comments what you think that is. Maybe it's just ILM being lazy. Maybe it's just ILM being lazy because the movie was rushed, but I don't know. I don't know. They could have had more screen time. Who's next? How many more Autobots?
Ratchet and Ironhide.
Ratchet and Ironhide. Ratchet was better than the last film because he actually talks more and he actually fires his lasers. And that's about it for him. Ironhide, he threatens the humans, which is pretty funny.
Quite a bit. A couple times.
He gets more screen time than the last. No, about the same as
But
last
the
time.
thing with these two characters, they don't really fight any major Decepticons. It's pretty much Optimus and Skids and Mudflap, probably.
Okay, so that's about it. Who else? Alright, we're gonna have to go to part 2 now because this time is just killing us. Alright, this is part 2 of Transformers Revenge of the Fallen midnight premiere reception / mini review.
It's 4:30
We're gonna.
in the morning.
It is 4:30 a.m. We're very tired. Shut up. And we
What's
are
out?
in this part 2. We're gonna discuss Decepticons. We'll start off with Soundwave because Soundwave is just cool. He never comes down to Earth, for those of you wondering who's gonna... Wait, no, you just saw the film, what am I saying? For me, it was okay, he didn't come down to Earth, because it was pretty cool, he just, you know, hanging out in
Kind of a
space,
reconnaissance type.
hacking the satellite, which is pretty cool. I liked his tendrils. You see his face, and his voice wasn't G1,